Are you considering purchasing a property in the beautiful Algarve in 2026? Well, in this video, we are going to break down everything to do with the Algarve real estate market, from new historic highs in the Golden Triangle to how Americans are going to have a huge impact in 2026. So let's start off with the numbers and the property prices in the Algarve and in the Golden Triangle. So as a whole, the Algarve in the last 2 years, from 2024 to 2026, we have seen an appreciation of property prices of 15 to 18% on average. Now in Lobo, which is the central council of the Algarve, which has the Golden Triangle set within it, we have seen an average appreciation of a property from 20 to 25% over the past 2 years. And in the Golden Triangle, which includes Quinta do Lago and Vale do Lobo, the two most prestigious resorts in Portugal, we have seen over 25% appreciation on average in these two resorts. So buying location first has been very, very good historically and over the past 5 years. Now, I have seen a lot of debates whether or not the Algarve property market is in a bubble and if it's going to explode. But I always want to break down from first principles on why the property prices are what they are. Now, first of all, it comes from supply and demand, as all markets really do. So at the moment, we have a constrained amount of supply and quite a lot of demand and continued demand going on. Now, the question is, are we going to get an increase in supply here? Doesn't look like it in any way. In fact, councils are very restrictive on what you can and cannot build, so supply doesn't seem to go up. So are we going to get the continued demand from foreigners? That being mainly the UK and the US. Well, first of all, the UK, we are seeing a big exodus of expats fleeing there and moving to different locations. And Portugal is one on top of that list. So I see continued demand from the UK. A lot of people come here on vacation, especially to the Algarve. They fall in love with the lifestyle. And there's not really a better place to be. You have incredible safety, you have a lot of activities to do, and it's a great place to raise a family. So it's very good, and I can see the continued demand coming from there. Now let's move to the US. Do I see the demand continuing from the US and increased demand coming from the US? Well, as a whole, I actually do, because we're starting to see more direct flights from New York to Faro, which is the main airport in the Algarve. We have direct flights. So more Americans are going to find out about the Algarve, and the lifestyle here is incredible. You have fantastic golf, some of the best golf in Europe, incredible weather year round, both in the summer and in the off season. You have the 2 seasons as well, where the summer is incredibly busy, and the off season, which is actually my favorite part of the Algarve, is more quiet, laid back, and there's not as many people around, while you enjoy incredible sunny blue skies for pretty much all the year round. So as a whole, I definitely believe that demand is going to stay there or increase. Another fantastic thing about Portugal, and obviously when looking to purchase property in the Algarve, is that we have really, really good interest rates compared to the UK and US. We are seeing many of our clients getting a 2.5% mortgage rate, which is fantastic if you're looking to finance a property, and it's also great if you're looking for an investment here, whether that's to flip a property or to invest into a rental property, which we'll get onto in a bit on how good the returns can be and that we are seeing in the clients that we are working with. So let's get into the returns that we're seeing on the short-term rental market. So if you are looking to invest in the Algarve or even just have a holiday home out here, then it's a fantastic opportunity to do so right now, because the Algarve is growing year over year in tourism, not only in the summer. So if you are purchasing in a tourist location, you're going to get incredibly high occupancy, basically 100% during the on seasons. But what we are now starting to see is that there is a lot more tourism coming spread out throughout the year. So typically in the Algarve, we see the high seasons of June, July, August. But now in September, October, November, December, this is now considered golfer season. So we have all the lads trips and golfing trips that come out to the Algarve to play some of the most famous courses in these off seasons when the weather is still fantastic and the courses are a little bit more quiet than the summer. If you are within the areas where there's some amazing golf resorts, you can get a super high occupancy year round on your property, and this increases the return massively. We've been working with a client very recently who is looking at a 10% return on their investment, and actually quite a lot higher than that if you take their initial capital. So for example, they bought a property for 1 million euros and they got it on a mortgage. So they put down 200,000 euros on a property, plus the IMT costs and other closing costs involved in that, plus some renovations. So all in all, they would have spent around 350,000 euros on the initial invested capital. And they are looking at making roughly 80,000 euros return every single year, and that's net. That's after all the management fees, that's after all the taxes, property costs, etc. That's net straight into their pocket that they are getting. They have to pay some tax on that in Portugal, but they are still receiving a fantastic return on their investment. And this is fairly common. We understand exactly where you should be buying for an investment property. So if you are looking for a short-term rental investment, which I see is a fantastic opportunity right now, then we can definitely help you out with that. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the prime locations in the Algarve and in the central Algarve have seen huge appreciations over time. And I believe this is for good reason. This is where we have most of the good golf courses, you have a lot of restaurants, there's a lot more year-round expats living here, and that is really what has pushed this market. Because there's a lot of people, especially from the UK and Americans and Canadians, that have moved here, that are looking for a better, more relaxed quality of life, whether they're retiring or whether they're moving with a young family, or if they're just moving as digital nomads. We are seeing absolutely every type of person move here to the Algarve right now, and for good reason. And obviously, the more people that move like this, they attract more people to come over here and build a base. So for example, in international schools, we are seeing big waiting lists, and there are more international schools opening all the time here to fulfill all the demand that we're seeing. So with all that being said, I still think that the Algarve is a fantastic place to be purchasing a property, and I do see the market going up over time. So if you are interested in either purchasing a property to relocate, a holiday home, or a fantastic investment here, and you want help with your property buying journey, then you can click the first link in the description below to book a free call with me or a member of my team. I look forward to seeing you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.